to all the PMP aspirants that uh, there is a saying which I used to read out every day, that to reach to the to view the best of the best view in your in to your eyesight, you need to climb higher in the mountain, and that is how you can reach with lot of hard work. And what I'll tell each of the PMP participants, that calm, just be calm. Even if you're not getting the scores, analyze what is the problem, where the areas that you need to work through. And I'm sure wherever I feel that there were some issues that are happening with me, I used to watch your journeys. That really.
Anand just cleared PMP like 10 minutes ago. Ali have cleared PMP with above target. Congratulations, Raheel, on clearing your PMP in first attempt. You cleared PMP exam with 5 above target. The best thing that anyone can do. 5 above target. Ladies and gentlemen, second student in 3 days, 5 above target.
I didn't expect it that I will get this result. I thought that I will be like target or like above target.
Thanks to you. Without your dedication and guidance, it was impossible for me.
You can see
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
we can.
clear to you.
Above target, above target, above target, above target. Do I have to read film book? Do I have said no, no? Like whenever he heard like this guy have read 5 times film book so many times, he always get confused and come back to me. I kept on saying him, you are going to clear, just read one time, and that's what he did.
They've cleared PMP exam with 3 above target, the maximum achievement anyone can do in PMP 2021. And what a journey this guy had. I still remember when we started talking first, and he said that I want to give PMP, but along the way, his journey has been more significant. I found him extremely focused, dedicated, and hardworking. When I talk about Dev, I actually remember John Wick. Have you seen the John Wick movie?
I recall a long time during my college days. I have watched one, but I don't recall the name of that movie. But yeah, I remember the character.
Yeah, in John Wick, they all the people about John Wick says that he has a focus, dedicated, the such a kind of personalities, such kind of qualities that you don't find in today's person. And I say the same for Dev. Thinking about PMP, his focus, his dedication, his follow up is awesome. So congratulations, Dev, from the entire PMP community on becoming the PMP in 2020.
Thank you so much, Amir. It's really a pleasure talking to you. An honor to get in touch with you, to get all the insights that I have gathered so far.
So, Dev, why don't you share us your PMP journey? How you did it, all those things that would help
Mm,
PMP parents.
sure, absolutely. It's a long story, Amir. I I have got my PDUs earned in 2019 itself. And I was very much keen to give my exam in 2020, early 2020. But unfortunately, I could not appear in the exam due to my mother's demise, and I had to reschedule my exams on and off. But then during the same year in 2020, I had booked my exam in the month of November. But then I didn't had any preparation uh, due to the office and the other circumstances which I was dealing through. So I decided to move in the first half of the 2021, which is in the month of March. But then I realized that the PMP course structure was getting changed in 2021, and I followed up with few people whom I know, and they were like, the 2020 preparation outline will not help. Uh, so you need to go through the 2021 content. And I was like, whatever knowledge or whatever training that I had, or whatever time that I could gather from my office, to study, that was not looking promising to me. So I decided uh, to to do a deep dive and understand what is changing in 2021. And then I realized the bigger portion of the exam pattern is coming as agile. And I had further reschedule my exam in the month of April, and that is the last slot which I could reschedule in the PMP,
Okay.
because PMP did not allow any other rescheduling process. And due to COVID, there is some leverage that PMI has already given to me, so which was good. But 15th April was the only do and die situation for me, that there was no other exam, no other procrastination I could do with my exam. I was like, okay, let's go to this. So how I prepared for the exam initially was, um, I am I'm practicing project management for almost more than 6 years now. I'm into an IT project management, where the predictive and hybrid and uh, adaptive projects I have handled so well in my organizations, the experiences which I have gone through. So I have a very thorough understanding of agile in practice, as well as what really helped me was that I am some Scrum Master certified too. So that really helped me to understand what is the knickknacks about the overall Scrum process or agile that we have. And it gives me sense of confidence that there is some portion of the agile which is now there as part of the PMP exam. But then I was not too sure, because I was very much skeptical about the inputs and outputs, or the different domains now which have been introduced, and everything got encapsulated under those areas, and I was not too sure what to do. And I was just browsing through the different lectures I used to go through, like I have gone through PMBOK, not not to a level of deep, but for um, any sort of topic where I am following any shortcoming in understanding. So I used to refer only that topic, which is again, it's a standard, a golden standard for a PM to know what the PM, like if anything which is not too sure, then they need to go through. um, and other than that, I had Endico as a, so all the content, all the books that I had, Endico, Head First, Rita McCully, that is all based on the 2020 pattern. So holistically, I had gone through my books, like Rita, in one go, as and when I used to get time, and then PMBOK for only those areas where the topics were I was not sure of. But then the real your testing time was when you used to go to your mock exam, and that is when your tests will be, uh, I mean, your all learnings, all your studies will be tested thoroughly, right? And that is when I appeared in one of the mock exam and I failed miserably. And I realized that why did I failed. It was like 42% I got, which was not at all good. That was in early 2021. Then I started to look through different areas on YouTube. I happened to drop by to your videos, and really uh,
And that was the
happy.
first message. I got 42% in the mock. I still remember, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So I was really I was not uh, I was not too sure about like how do I do this, but at the same time I was determined to do that. Hey, there are some things that you don't know, so first thing we need to do is that analysis of your mark. And then I happened to visit your YouTube channel, wherein you have lot many videos, and I was like, man, this guy is really crazy about the PMP, and you have videos of what not. Okay. And I used to watch your videos whenever I used to get time during my office breaks or during my lunch time, during my dinner time. I used to just put a record and just see it. Okay, there's a journey of stakeholder. Okay, within this time I usually had a habit of, having my lunch within 2 to 3 minutes. I used to eat very fast. But now, when I was watching your videos, until your video gets over, I finish off my lunch or my dinner, and to at least I was totally engrossed in like your knowledge. And the art is that you have covered everything in just very comprehensive way, and that really, um, that really helped me a lot. And that is very impressive, I must tell, Amir, that it's the knowledge. If we get to read on to PMBOK or any other area, it is very vast. But when I was going through the stakeholder, I recall when I was going through the quality journey or the communication journey, it was very concise or very comprehensive. I was like, this is it. I really need to go through this. And then I started interacting with you, wherein I really your advices have really helped me a lot in terms of going through how to approach the questions. And I used to watch your sessions where you used to help the PMP aspirants to deal with the
Yes,
PM question,
my coaching
the mock session. Yeah. So it was very, I would say, engrossing session. And that is when got to know the language, or got to know like what is the level of areas that I need to work on myself. And then upon, we had few interactions, and wherein I got to know that, okay, the only thing which I need to cover my PMP is to give as much as mocks I can. And I still remember you're saying, Amer, where you were upset that I was not sleeping on time. I was I was almost on the verge of burning up. And I took your advice very seriously. And there was a time.
It's very important. You see, there has
Yeah,
to. I am a person who works very hard, but actually, some of my students think that I don't sleep. They always tell them I sleep more than you. Anyone, I'm actually saying this on record. I sleep more than, and that's why I say that 7 to 8 hours sleep, whatever you do,
yeah,
more than necessary than you think. Okay, you can
yeah.
compensate to 6 hours or 5 hours, but don't try to limit less than this, depending upon your age and body requirement. Actually, I sleep at 6 a.m. And I then, if I sleep at 6 a.m., I don't wake up before 2 p.m. So whatever
Okay,
your
okay.
body hour is, you have to sleep. And that's why when you were like your results were not improving and you were lagging sleep. That's why I said no. This is the time not to get too much panic, not to get burned down. Let's focus on it. Please continue.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That helps. But at the same time, there was a sense of, at the back of your mind, you have that date. If you can, I can quickly see from by my
I
background.
can
I
see.
have highlighted very clearly 15th April, and every day I used to, from the 1st April, I used to tick off each and every day that this day is gone, Dev. You need to focus. You need to work hard. And whatever time I used to get from my office, like on my regular days, I used to get minimum 2 to 3 hours. I used to study, like post my office, like from midnight to 3 or 4, depends on my schedule. So I used to do that. And then at the last minute preparation, that was where your adrenaline is on rushing on you, and you just need to go through the exam. And you would just uh, there was a time when you think that, okay, no matter what it is, you just get on to the exam. And that is where a lot of helpful content from you helped me a lot. Your advice in terms of going to the mocks. So coming back to the mocks, Amir, what I've done is like, I used to I've done Andrew Ramadale, I've done Yasin, I've done Yazidi. There is one guy called Yazidi. I've done like he had like 250 questions on or each of the domain areas, and it was pretty good. And these are the areas I had had gone through for the mocks. And precisely, I still remember you're saying that irrespective of number of mocks that you have done, what matters is that the concepts or the analysis of each of the mocks that that where are the areas that one is failing, and I was focusing on that area, that whichever area I was not performing well. So I used to analyze my mock. That really helped. And at the last, I was not too sure about the input output, and because in PMBOK and in all other content, there was a there was lot of content that are there, where in my previous training sessions also back in 2019, when I did my earlier, where I attained the PDOs, I was told that input output is something that you need to mug up. But in this scenario, no, it is not at all required, because there is nothing of input output that is going to come. And agile is the only game here, where we need to understand that part. So I'll stop here and wait for your next question, Amir.
No,
uh,
going,
so this is
going
so
good.
far good.
Actually, all my questions, I know you have watched all my journeys and you are already answering all the questions. That is good enough. People actually prefer when I ask the question, I actually ask the question so that people are not speaking. And you are a good speaker. You are talking. So that is my honor. I am listening. Let's do it. Because as a good project manager, you have to use active listening. So
Yeah.
please continue. Please continue.
Okay, sure, sure. So, as a part of my journey, I've just given a bit of synopsis. But then, how approach I used to follow was that uh, I have not gone through the PMBOK rigorously. Only those topics where I was not too sure what is the next approach I should be taking as a project manager. Um, so only those areas. Initially, I did. Uh, Gone through the chapter wise questions of Rita and Pimbok, but I was not too sure about whether this is the right approach or not. But yes, it at least helps you to set the stage right, that okay, such kind of questions will come, and at the each of the chapter, you will get some sort of confidence that motivates that okay, for a certain domain where you have covered your reading part and you're just attempting the questions, then it really gives some sense of motivation that you are good at that. So I was just I used to note all my results on each of the chapters, the knowledge areas like which I'm getting. And one thing I used to do, where like I used to like from the almost a month before the exam, I used to um, sit once in a day, like either in my morning, my early morning, or my late nights, and I used to just type in the input. I used to type in all my knowledge areas and process groups in a spreadsheet, which helped me like okay, how each of the areas like are going through, and what all different processes it falls, like 49 processes and all those areas. So it helped me to actually go through like what all different processes will come at what level. And to be very frank, there is nothing of any sort to be to get to mugged each and everything. It is all the application that will come. And I still remember there was one of your journey, one of your success story I used to watch a lot, to at least understand that retrospective that I used to get from the people, that hey, this something this.
I really like the word you use, that these journeys are actually basically retrospectives for the other candidates,
Yes,
not for that candidate, but for me, how I can improve my process system, because the person who has become PMP has become PMP. That's done. But for me, how I can improve my processes. So I would say it's more like a project retrospective that you do at the end of the project so that you can implement the lesson in the next project. Okay.
absolutely. So I used to watch them, and I used to plot a graph, like how many applicants or how many PMP aspirants are facing a problem in which area. So there is, I mean, if I cannot zoom in, there is one graph which I draw, a plotter graph
Can you
where.
share that graph later on? Because I would love
Sure.
to see, because I now this is something I would say a real retrospective. I never even thought, but yes, I should do that. Like I do put some of the things out from the students when the students started saying servant leadership is again coming. So I made a servant
Yes.
video on servant leadership. Then students started
Yes.
saying hybrid is allowed, how we are moving. Then I started praising that you need to read agile guide. Even I made two,
Yeah.
three videos and I made sure all of my students that they read agile. Even I asked you, have you read agile guide? That they
Yeah.
go through the agile guide. I do that.
Yeah.
That correlation I have never done. So do share it with me. I'll share it with the
Yeah.
students.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I realized that the major pain point for most of the aspirants was that okay, predictive is something that we have in our subconscious mind. That everyone, when you talk about the project, the predictive methodology do come in a regular day-to-day project life cycle. But agile or the adaptive or the hybrid is something which is now brewing up, and it has really evolved in the PMI. And during while giving the mock itself, I used to think that I'm a servant leader, and then try to attempt the question, and that really helped me to uh, to scale up the scores to a certain level. But at the same time, like while attempting a mock, uh, uh, it is all about your application, like how you have grasped, how you have gathered the knowledge from your reading. It's all about concept. If you understand that, I think that is the I would say the need of the PMP aspirant that needs to be done. And to an extent, reading will help, but at the later stage, I did share a few of my notes also from your success stories or from your journeys. That really helped me during the last days of going through or revising the concepts, because in the last week of the exam or just 2 days before the exam, it's very very difficult. Like everybody wants to have the best of the best content, but uh, everyone needs to be very selective in terms of what they need to brush up at the last minute or what they need to do it. And the key is that as long as like you get onto the marks, the more you gather. I mean, everything is all scenario based. The questions were scenario based, and I did taken a center-based exam, Amir, where it was booked long time back. So I did not change. There was an option though, but I did not change. The reason is that I'm being at home for almost like more than an year now. During
Everyone
these
is.
challenging,
Everyone is. Everyone is.
yeah, so it's very challenging, and I have a kid of 3 years now, and my wife is also working, and it's very sometimes I'm get locked in one room, he's another room, and my kid get panicked about where my mother is. So I decided to get on to exam center where I could focus. So in order to attempt to that, or to customize the environment factors of those center based exam, I used to give mock by wearing a mask. So at least I know what are the probability of risk that while I'm wearing a mask in the real day, and I'm not if I get a certainly a headache or something of where I feel discomfort, then what will happen. So I used to acclimatize myself with that environment, that I'm putting up the mask. I used to give diligently 4 hours or 3 hours, whatever time that are there for the mock exam. I used to take the breaks which are much needed during the mock exam. So it really helped me to at
One
least
question.
understand.
One question on this point.
Yes,
Now
yes,
I know that right now currently India is in lockdown. So does the Pakistan is going towards lockdown. So
yes, yes,
do you have to wear mask in the center?
yes, yes,
They,
mandatory.
they ask you to wear the mask.
They will not allow if there is no mask.
No,
Yeah,
no. You
that.
have a mask, you come to the center, they check you. When you sit in your seat, generally, when I gave exam, I gave my ACP exam in the COVID. So what they were
Mhm,
doing was basically once there were six seats. So one seat,
mhm.
then one seat empty, then one seat. That was the way.
Okay.
So generally, in the center, just like our tables, they are more of a 3 to 6 feet distance. So that's not a big
Correct.
deal. But they do make it mandatory that you have to wear mask all the time.
Yeah. Yes, yes. There was a guideline from the Pearsons that mask is mandatory, and I was sure that.
Guidelines is okay, but then also in the guidelines it says that it depends from your area to area, from country to
Correct.
country. So this is the new thing in which uh,
Yeah.
you are
Chandigarh, Chandigarh, Punjab.
in Chandigarh, you have to wear mask. That's a very important thing for the PMP aspirant
Yeah.
because if you have to wear a
In
mask,
fact,
yeah,
In I had few aspirants like who got cleared off in Delhi too. They were also wearing mask. So in Delhi, Bangalore, I know few people who cleared during my days in the April itself. They all were supposed to wear the mask. Mask was really a mandatory item during the uh, center-based exam. But right now, the situation is not feasible, or I would say friendly at all to go in a center-based exam. However, there are very limited people due to COVID. Everyone is aiming to go for a home-based proctor exam. But then it was all uh, depends on what is the participant's preference. But
okay.
yeah, it was. Um, yeah, yeah. You have a question, Amir?
Yes, now I want to ask basically about the exam. Now, how much exam
Yeah.
was agile, predictive? You know what I ask normally. So can you share
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So the first question, right? I would say when I was giving through the exam, I kept in mind the first question came was totally agile. It was agile. There was no numerical for me, no input output for me, but I would say 90% of the scenarios were agile, all adaptive. 90%.
That's
The
too much. That's too much.
Yes, yes, and the reason is that there was a one numerical, not I would say numerical, but it was scenario based, and it was just a number. When we talk about numericals, we talk about the numbers. So there was a numbers like, okay, if you are in a uh, agile project, and then as a scrum master, what is the value that you will consider most in your with your product owner. So there were some values numbers 46, 76, 86, like that. So the servant leader needs to ensure that the highest the value of the stories needs to be addressed. So those were such kind of tricky questions were there. And during the initial bunch of questions, like 15 questions, I was like and I was like that I may not be able to make it because the level of questions, I don't know, it was for me, the level of questions were really tough uh, in terms of the scenarios. And it was like, Amir, like 4 lines or 5 lines of questions, and then there were options. So 4 lines in 30 seconds or whatever time that you have to specify your answer. I mean, it was too much to go through it. But what really helped me was the elimination technique. um, so I used to go through, like, I mean, I've gone through like your videos where you have during the mock exam exercise where you have worked through the aspirants. I still noted down um, all your strategies to attempt a question. So the elimination technique really helped me, um, wherein I used to read through the last part of the question, and then from the bottom to top, what are the options that are available, and that really helped me to solve it. But I would say the first half, the first 60 question took me some time. I would say the first 60 questions took me 90 minutes. But then there was a break which I took, and I would recommend each and every PMP aspirants to take the break, which is much needed. During this time frame, you just need to uh, have water, have chocolate, just believe in yourself that you can do it. And the second half was, I made up my mind that I will not rush. um, I mean, if you know, Amir, like, I had a problem to read through the questions really fast. and and that really backfired me during the mock-up exams. But I kept in my mind that I need to slow down during the exam, and I need to have a mindset of servant leadership, because I was in a mindset where everything was like, consider that you are working in an agile company or agile project. Consider that you're working as a scrum master or a servant leader. They have a servant leader also in the questions. So wherein uh, it's all about all agile mindset that you are carrying, that really helped in the PMP exam. The third part of the question, the third part of the exam was little lighter than the first two, I would say, because there were um, not straightforward question at all, not straightforward at all. The way we used to get in the mock, they were help you to set the tone, definitely. But as I said earlier, it's all about the concepts that you are bringing up to the exam, and that really helped. And the there were 8 to 9 match the following for me. In each part there were match the following, and Tuckman ladder was there. It was not at all straightforward, where okay, if this is the situation, what you will do next. I mean, there was at one point, I remember, there was a one fill in the blank, there was one match the following, that has both the left and the right had the scenarios. And it was like, it seems to be overwhelming for me to read all such options. But again, the crux of the story, I'll keep it short, that uh, the keyword, what is the concept that they want to highlight here? Because there are unnecessary noise at the at the bottom of the question, or the up, there is some middle line that you need to catch. There are some, and there's some I would say, the punchline, which is very important as a concept. uh, and that can only be possible once the mocks are done in that way. And I'm very much happy that the mocks that you perform with the aspirants has that thorough understanding. Okay, you just
How
categorically
how how to move in all those directions and all those things.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So that really helped. And then once so agile is the key, where and I found there are few questions on the customization too. Governance, there were few. In fact, um, uh, on the compliance, as a matter of fact, which is a new topic that got introduced in the PM,
Yeah,
in our domain.
that topic is actually covered in comprehensively in new ATP
Yes.
material, but it is not covered in RITA or anything. I think so.
Yes, no, no, it is not there. It is not there. So it was like, there are one question in the compliance, I recall. There is majority of agile, a mix of hybrid too, definitely. There was like, the initial planning was done in the predictive model, but then the scheduling and the other part is happening uh, in the adaptive. So as a project manager, what you will do, and there is a concept of, okay, either you're going to be doing the training or customizing or talking to the product owner, uh, all such sort. So agile is the niche, which I feel, which is really important for for us, the PMP aspirants.
Okay.
That really.
Okay. Thank you, Dev. You gave us a lot of information, and my trademark question. I always ask the same thing, and I will put this as the main page line. What is the one advice in 1 minute you can give to the aspirants that can prove to be useful to all aspirants?
Okay, so I'll just say this to all the PMP aspirants, that uh, there is a saying which I used to read out every, that to reach to view the best of the best view in your in to your eyesight, you need to climb higher in the mountain, and that is how you can reach with lot of hard work. And what I'll tell each of the PMP participants, that calm. Just be calm. Even if you are not getting the scores, analyze what is the problem, where the areas that you need to work through. And I'm sure wherever I feel that there were some issues that are happening with me, I used to watch your journeys. That really helped me a lot. Secondly, agile is very much in practicing, or I would say, let's go through the concepts. Agile practice guide is must. And at last, I would say is that believe in you and the concepts, the concepts that you are bringing through your reading, through your learning. That really helped. So I would say uh, PMP exam is not that tough, but it has limited. No input outputs. Forget about ITOs. I would say I was having in mind that if any numerical will come, I will skip it, because I know it is my weaker point to work through a numerical. But having said that, uh, bring your concepts in the exam, and your
Yes.
as a servant leader, that really matters.
Yes, Amer. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dev. And this has been one of the best interview I had in long time. The way you explained it was marvelous. It just tells you how comprehensively you have gone through your material. One more thing. Do you have a treadmill in your room?
Yes, I do have a cycle just behind me.
Well,
So
that's
whenever I use board, I used to
I am actually
do.
because gyms are getting closed. Even the gyms, if the gyms are open, this
Yeah.
becomes a risk to go there. So I don't want to go there. I'm thinking to buy treadmill and place it. So far, I'm unable to convince my wife that I should uh, put $1,000 treadmill instead of going running into the garden. But let's see. Thank you, Dev. Thank you very much for your time and best of luck
Yeah.
for everything. I really appreciate the work you have done, the hard work you have done. It has been a magnificent journey between you, knowing you, starting from the day when you got 42% in the mock till the day you become certified PMP. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for all help and support. I feel honored. Thank you so much.
Anand just cleared PMP like 10 minutes ago. Ali have cleared PMP with above target. Congratulations, Raheel, on clearing your PMP in first attempt. You cleared PMP exam with 5 above target. The best thing that anyone can do. 5 above target. Ladies and gentlemen, second student in 3 days. 5 above target.
I didn't expect it that I will get this result. I thought that I will be like target or like above target.
Thanks to you. Without your dedication and guidance, it was impossible for me.
Yeah, yeah. We can clear to you. Above target, above target, above target, above target. Do I have to read film book? Do I have said no, no? Like whenever he heard like this guy have read 5 times film book so many times, he always get confused and come back to me. I kept on saying him, you are going to clear, just read one time, and that's what he did.